Yo, 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 yo. It is 10:09, Monday, February 27th. We are about one day from ending what they gave us, Black History Month. It is 62 degrees here in Atlanta, Georgia, with a high of 71. That means it's going to be nice and toasty. And I want y'all to get outside if you're in the Atlanta area, if you're somewhere down south, if you're somewhere where the weather should be feeling good, or hopefully you're somewhere where you can feel it too. I'm your host with the most like butter on your breakfast toast. If this is your first time joining me live, welcome to my live. We are currently broadcasting, multicasting on Instagram, on TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and of course, Facebook. Shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all let me know where you're tuning in from. Letitia, good morning. Happy Monday. You all should really be thanking and following Letitia because Letitia is a huge reason why we're here today. Letitia has been pressing me. You know, she's been like, yo, Scrap, we miss you. I haven't seen you online at the right time and whatnot. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a conscious effort to go to sleep. And I did that yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So tonight's conversation is going to be a conversation to change your situation because I know somebody needs to hear this because they've told me somebody needed to hear this. If you guys have checked the last post, if you guys have checked my last post on my Instagram and on my TikTok, I left y'all a message that I'm sure that each one of y'all need to hear because I'm surrounded by good people and good people need to hear this message. Because sometimes we're so good to other people that we're not good enough to ourselves. Make sure you guys, if you're on any of those other platforms, make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the share button. Make sure you guys, if you want to contribute, they give you badges on Instagram. They give you gifts on TikTok. And then they give you super chats and whatnot on my YouTube channel. These are ways that you can contribute and show your appreciation beyond just your attendance. But you're going to want to hear this, right? I posted about don't be so selfless that you see yourself less. Now, I'm going to give y'all an opportunity to tap in and get somebody involved. You know what I'm saying? We're going to rock out with it for a moment. I want to show y'all something else. For those of you who don't know about this, this is my book. It's called Social Digital Currency. Social Digital Currency. Do not purchase it on Instagram. We've been having some issues with people buying it on Instagram. They said that, you know, that Instagram was jamming them up. So make sure you purchase it on the website, yoursocialdigitalcurrency.com, yoursocialdigitalcurrency.com. I've got my apple cider vinegar here. I'm letting it cool off for a little bit so we can take it to the head and get this morning started off correctly. But I also want to just implore you guys to share the room, hit the like button, and get some people involved because I want y'all to know that somebody you know needs to know that you know this. Do you understand? Like a lot of times when I get on live, man, I be looking forward to you guys either sharing the live or sharing the conversation so that people can be on the same page as you. Like y'all really need to embrace the fact that you need people to know what you know. You understand? Like if they know that you know better, then they got to do better because they know that both of you know better. A lot of times you have information that they don't have, so they act naive to it, and so they treat you a certain kind of way or they continue on a certain kind of way. So you got to manage that a little bit differently. Like you don't want to be in a position where you know stuff that somebody around you doesn't know, and it affects the way that they manage you. What up, Clicko? Good morning, everybody. So with that being said, I started this thing off, man. I had a real epiphany the other day, and I've always thought like this a little bit, right? Don't be so selfless that you see yourself less. Now, there are several ways that I broke this down to y'all in the conversation yesterday. I kind of left it in the text of the profile, but what up, Red Scorpio? But I was like, let me actually break this down to y'all. Is this on? Was that something? Let me break it down to y'all in a way where y'all could really understand where I'm coming from. Don't be so selfless that you see yourself less. And really good people are the ones who have this problem. Good people are givers naturally by nature. We just want to give. We just want to support people. In that giving, a lot of times our giving is never reciprocated properly. We give so much of ourselves that we don't even recognize ourselves when we look up. Especially people in relationships, people who are really fighting for the relationships to work. They are so selfless that by the time you look up, you become somebody else just to please somebody else. Anybody out there been in that situation? I need y'all to testify for me right now. I need y'all to check in and tap in and do what enjoying this conversation. Have you ever been so much to somebody else? Have you ever done so much for somebody else that by the time you looked up, you didn't recognize who you were in the relationship or in the friendship again? Steph Love says yes. Anybody else? Has anybody else been in a situation where you've been so good to somebody else that you don't recognize who you are and it wasn't reciprocated back to you? These are the things that I'm talking about selflessness. Good people are selfless to a fault. Red Scorpio says sure have on TikTok. Yeah, good people are selfless to a fault, meaning we've treated people better than we've treated ourselves. Now, and I understand what it is. You know, we put ourselves out there in the hopes that someone would do and be to us what we are, because that's the thing we were taught, right? We were taught, do unto others as we would have them do unto us. That's what that was the scripture. That was the conversation that we had growing up. If you don't want somebody to do this to you, you don't do that to them. Well, the problem with that is everybody hasn't heard that. Everybody, as much as we like to assume and think that everybody should know this conversation, they don't. This is why, you know, at times I have to check myself when I'm driving down the street that I don't get mad at folks that can't drive. I got to remember that they didn't grow up in the atmosphere that I grew up in. They didn't understand the context of life the way that I have. They don't know what I know. And so, you know, at one point, y'all don't even know this. At one point, I was like, yo, I'm going to make a TikTok or I'm going to do a conversation about driving because I'm sick and tired of being on the road and driving and people not know the basic fundamentals of driving. I can't be mad because I know most of them don't know what I know. I'm a super experienced driver. I'm probably one of the best drivers y'all going to ever ride with if y'all ever ride with me. Y'all will be upset though. I drive fast because I don't like being on the road with idiots. People always say, Scrap, why you drive so fast? The quicker I get to where I'm going, the less time I spend with those idiots on the road. I'm sorry. That's my logic. You don't have to like it. That's how I feel about driving. Yes, I drive fast. Knock on wood, I've been blessed to be able to know how to drive fast so that I can manage myself or anybody. I'm the guy you call if you late for something. I'm the guy you call to get you there on time. If you late for something, I'm the guy you call to get you where you trying to go. You know what I'm saying? Scrap, I'm late for an appointment. I got you. Don't worry about it. Listen, I do these things under extreme control no matter what the situation is, and I just have an eye for it. It's a gift. It's something I've been blessed with or whatnot. But in order to start getting people on the same page and to treat you differently or whatnot, then everybody has to know what you know. So yeah, I want to do some YouTubes just basically saying, hey, if somebody flashes you, if somebody flashes their light behind you when you're on the highway and you're in the far left lane, you need to get over. Why? Because you're impeding their way. You're going slow. I've watched people, man, I've been coming down the highway at about 100, 120 miles an hour. Not that I'm saying that that's right or anything, but I've been pushing it down the highway and people will merge over into my lane. And I'm like, yo, why would you do that? Can't you gauge my rate of speed? Don't you see that I'm coming down the road? Don't you see that I'm pushing? And they don't understand that. And, you know, I don't know if y'all know this. If you're driving and there's a big trucker passing you, once he gets his trailer past you, you're supposed to flick your lights twice on and off so that he knows that he has cleared your car and he can get over. Like, these are simple things to me that I know that I want to impart on other people. That's the whole reason why I go live most of the time, is because somebody needs to hear this stuff. And that way I know that if I'm around you, if I'm with you or around you, I know that you know what I know and we can manage and handle a situation. There's no way we can lose. If you know what I know and I know that you know what I know, then what we know together, we cannot lose because we both know better. We both already know what's up. And don't you wish you could go into things that way? You know what I mean? Yeah, I know, Harris. I'm going to put you up on game. Harris said, I didn't know that. Yeah, I'm going to put you up on a lot of game. You know what I'm saying? People are so distracted when they're driving and doing so many other things. They're doing everything but driving. Literally, I'm watching people hold their phones and watch the light change 2 or 3 times before, you know what I mean? I'm watching all this behavior and I'm like, yo, when you're in the car, your only objective is to drive. It's not to do your makeup. It's not to eat. It's not to be on the phone like that. Your whole mission is to get from point A to point B safely without any distractions. But we come up with things to distract us and And if you know better, you'll do better. So if you just know, look, just drive, man. If you're in a car, just drive. That's all I need you to do. I don't need you to do nothing. Don't need you nothing else. Initra on YouTube said, on Facebook said, I don't know, cuz I'm terrified of fast drivers. I stay out of their way, as you should. And she didn't know that about the lights. Most people don't know that about the lights for truckers. So when y'all see truckers, y'all will see it if y'all travel a lot. That's because, so I've driven from Atlanta to Michigan, Michigan to Atlanta, Atlanta to Florida, Florida back. You know what I'm saying? And you have to know that you click the lights off twice so they know that they've cleared you. You'll see them do it to each other, but that's for all of us. Clicko said, I've always said my ex-girlfriend could have been an F1 driver. She grew up driving in the suburbs of Jersey. Yeah. And that's another thing. So most people who are from the north, and this is no diss to anybody else, but they drive better than people from the south and people from the west coast. And the reason being is because we go through adverse conditions. The South doesn't go through winter, spring, summer, and fall the same way. Like they very rarely, which the odd stuff that's happening out in California right now with the snow, that's an anomaly. Never happens normally. So in Michigan, where I'm from Flint, Michigan. You learn to drive fast for several reasons. You know, we were the murder capital at one point. If you don't know how to drive fast, that could be bad. You know what I'm saying? That could be a thing. Scorpio said, my father taught me that at a young age and I travel a lot. That's right. And he just said, I'm definitely going to share this information, as you should. And this information, listen, I want y'all to understand these lives, Red says she's from Lansing. Now I know you know. These lives that I open you up to when I get on live, you know what I'm saying? It's for you to share this content, not for you to hold it to yourself. Y'all gotta, these morning ones are for y'all to have this, the water cooler conversation. This is the lunchtime conversation. This is what we talked about on our break. Yeah, my homeboy was on earlier. He was talking about self-love, be selfless, and so that we don't be so selfless. And he was talking about this stuff with cars and stuff, because everybody should know this. You know what I'm saying? These are things that I think are common knowledge that most of you don't know. And so, yeah, I got to disseminate this information. But I say all that to say that you have to manage how selfless you are. Good people are the ones who get hurt when we are overly selfless. When we don't put ourselves first. That's something that we don't do, and they don't teach you to do that. But listen, I'm going to tell y'all right now, we are breaking generational curses when it comes to behavior. We have to. We have to if we want to change, not just individually, but if we want a change globally. Yeah, California driver here, snow making everyone drive crazy, people freaking out. I told you, Eris, listen, when you're not accustomed to a certain situation like Atlanta and the South isn't accustomed to the cold like that or snow, they shut down snow. They had a closure of everything down here in Atlanta. And there was no snow. There was a projection of snow that never came, and they closed the schools down. Yeah, California people, y'all ain't used to that. So y'all like, yo, what's going on? And it does change the conditions from when you're driving. What's up, Miss Mickey? You got me, girl. We here. I know you've been looking for me, but I'm everywhere right now. I'm on TikTok Live. I'm on Instagram Live. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And if you are on any of these platforms, I implore y'all right now to share these lives right now. Share. Tag somebody and share. Like these lives. Right now we have 200. I don't understand this. 223 likes right now on my TikTok, which is abnormal. Black Butterfly, what's happening, baby? We got 223 likes. That's it. Y'all can't treat me like this. Y'all can't do this to us. You know what I'm saying? It's a bad representation of you, and it's a bad representation of this live. The information is so important that it needs to be disseminated through as many people as you possibly can. Oh, Black said she had to come over. Was there an issue anywhere else, or tell me why? Because I'd be having to know. Make sure y'all hitting that like button. Yeah, it's important. That participation is important. Y'all know this is an interactive engagement, and it's got to happen. But I was saying you can't be so selfless that you start seeing yourself less. There's no way. What up, Letitia? There's no way that you should ever be so selfless that it's painful for you, that it makes you feel off. Now, a problem with that is people like us that are so giving enjoy it. We know what it feels like to not get, because a lot of times we're always on the giving end, but we know what it feels like to give, and giving for us is something dope. Hey, Tashi. We love to do that. We love to be selfless, and we do it with no expectation of return. But I'm gonna tell y'all right now, you can't be so selfless that you're seeing yourself less. That's such a, I know y'all don't understand that. I mean, that's such a huge concept in the grand scheme of things. Because if you don't start seeing what you need to see, if you don't get the return on the investment that you're making, then yeah, people are like, yo, Scrap, why you not on so much? Listen, I'm fighting for y'all to give me likes. I'm struggling with likes. Come on, man. Y'all want to talk about me being on live? You know what I'm saying? I'm struggling with likes. I am struggling with likes on my lives. That's not what we do. Y'all know the behavior. Y'all know the way we do this. I'm struggling with people not sharing the content. I wrote a whole book. I wrote a whole book. Thank you, Letitia. I wrote a whole book on all of this stuff, just so y'all can understand how passionate I am about giving, but also about educating you about giving in terms of the things that are free. When I talk about social digital currency, I talk about something that is free. Are you hearing me? Free. Your shares, your likes, your comments, all free. And if I gotta fight you to do free stuff, what up, Red Bull? That's just crazy to me, because y'all don't ask me for this free content. I give it freely. Yeah, Clicko said, giving for me is therapy. Gave someone a card the other day, and I'm 100% sure she's never gotten that. I'm sure as well. You know what I'm saying? And it is therapeutic for most of us. Those of us who give, we do so with no expectation of return. And I'm going to tell y'all, we got to continue that. But you have to manage how much and how often you do that, because there should be a return on the investment that you make into life, into other people. You know what I'm saying? We don't talk about it. We're not the ones, we don't say, yo, I gave this, that. Like Clicko, I know that was tough for you to even say that. You know what I'm saying? I was looking at her reading the card and she almost got teary-eyed. As she should, because those are the people who make it all worth it. Tasha, you're absolutely right. She says you have to know your stop point. You have to have a limit to your giving. If y'all don't realize, I was on here every day, every single day for hours, 2, 3, 4 hours. And I was like, yo, this ain't making no sense. You know what I mean? Like, this doesn't make sense that I'm online so long. And the response to, and we was having some bomb ass conversations. I know some of y'all miss it, but man, I'm like, yo, I can't continue down this road. I'm the person who recognizes the problem. I usually have a solution for it. So my solution for it at the time was, well, let me create, when I got banned, first off, that was offensive to me. I felt very bad about that, because TikTok treated me in a way that I felt was not, I didn't warrant it. I was on TikTok. I was giving so much to TikTok, and TikTok's return was horrible. What up, Kiki? The return on being on TikTok is horrible for people like me who are giving so much content and information that is outside of the wheelhouse of what TikTok is popular for. I know I'm swimming upstream. I know I'm swimming against the current. But y'all should never make me feel like it. I'm just gonna keep it real. Y'all should never make me feel like I'm running upstream. And matter of fact, y'all should blow these folks out the water when it comes to how you share my lives, how you like on my lives, how you bring people in here, how you gift. All those things should be a reflection of how much you don't. It should be two things. It should be how much you appreciate what's happening in our lives, but it also be a reflection of positive things work. This is what we're dealing with in society right now when we talk about all these different positions. Y'all talk about y'all want better music, but when better music people come to y'all with better music, they're not at the top of the charts. They don't get to do a worldwide tour. They don't get all the love and energy that this whack music is getting, but y'all keep supporting whack music. And then y'all say, well, I don't support that whack music. Well, your lack of support for good music is support for whack music. Yeah. I know some of y'all didn't look at it like that, and that's what we're here for, is a mindset shift. I want y'all to understand this. Your lack of support for something positive is a point being made and a support system you are contributing to for the negative. You can't stand in the middle and expect the scales of change to work. They don't work like that. If I stand in the middle and people are steadily loading up stuff on this side of the scale, well, this side of the scale is going to win. It's going to get heavier, and it's going to keep lifting this stuff out of the picture. So you got to figure that out. Y'all got to understand that standing in the middle does not help. You can't be so selfless that you see yourself less. Now, there are several ways that I was communicating to y'all about that, because there are two different sides of that, right? Well, not two sides, but two different perspectives. The other side is don't be so selfless that you see yourself less. And when I say that, that's more of a confidence and a mindset thing. Don't think that you're less than anybody else. And so a lot of times people who are very giving are also dealing with, concerns and issues with inadequacy. They figure if I do all these things, maybe people will like me. If I do all these things, maybe people will be cool. If I do all these things, maybe they'll accept me. And that's not kind of how it works. What up, Valerie? What up, V1 Beats? Ain't seen you in a while, girl. What's happening? I got to hear some of that new music. That becomes a problem. If you're so selfless that you see yourself less, then you got to work on you. You know what I mean? You got to build your confidence. You got to know that you are enough. You got to always keep lifting yourself to that next place. A lot of us get into that place where we're contributing and we're trying to be a part of stuff. I was guilty of it myself. I was one of those people who's like, yo, I don't want to do a solo career. I want to be in a group. I just don't see myself out here performing and doing stuff by myself. Do you know I didn't get a real record deal until I went solo? Yeah, it's like seeing someone Clicko said, it's like seeing someone getting violated on a train and not intervening. That's right. Your lack of participation in the positive is a contribution to the negative. I don't know why people don't understand that positive and negative are always working at all times. Where do you fit into the grand scheme of things? Who are you in that mix? Are you somebody who is supporting the positive so that the negative is diminished? Or are you the person that's standing in the middle and watching the negative continuously grow? Come on, man. Y'all want change. I'm trying to give y'all ways to change. I'm trying to give y'all some things to do so that y'all can adjust. What up, Janet? I'm trying to give y'all some things and some ideas and some mindset shifts and some perspectives to take with you throughout this week and watch how your life will change. You cannot continuously be selfless and expect to see more of yourself. What are you doing for you this week? Let's start there. What are you doing for yourself this week? Have you planned something special for yourself? Have you said that do you got something in the works for yourself? Every day you need to have something for yourself that's going to uplift you, that has nothing to do with anybody else. Too many times we predicate our happiness on the other people and the people that we surround ourselves with. Well, are you happy with you? Are you happy with you? Let's start there. And no, Eris, it ain't got to be couples massages. You go get your massage for yourself. Listen, if y'all don't stop, if you don't start taking care of you, I don't know what your expectation is of me to take care of you, because you haven't laid down the blueprint for how you should be taken care of. I'm talking to somebody right now. Sometimes y'all gotta listen, before you get into a relationship, y'all better show the person how they need to treat you. That's the whole courting period. The courting period is for you to show somebody how you want to be treated. And if they don't treat you that way, don't make an excuse for those people. Got him. That's all I'm saying. Stop making excuses for the lack of love and attention and things that you want for other people. I'm sorry. How are you treating yourself? What kind of love and attention are you giving you so that they have a blueprint on how to treat you? So many people want to build something but have no outline. They have no structure. They have nothing for that. But I'm supposed to know. I just met you. How am I supposed to know? We just got together. I'm just learning who you are. How am I supposed to treat you when you aren't treating you how you want to be treated? Y'all better stand up for yourself. Selflessness does not mean naivety or for you to be you can't do it. You can't be naive at your own self's sake. I'm sorry. At some point, you got to click the switch and say, what am I doing? What was I thinking? Oh my God, it's about you first. This is what they tell you. I don't know if y'all know this. Listen, I'm gonna give y'all a brief brief conversation about selflessness. Is y'all ready? Before I go into that, I'm finna give y'all this conversation on selflessness. But before I do, I want y'all to hit the like button. I need y'all to share the live. We have no shares. If we do have shares, I don't even see them. But we need shares on the live. We need shares. I'm finna drop some on y'all real quick. And it's in your face. What I'm about to drop on y'all is in y'all face already. Harris says your content is awesome. I appreciate that. Listen to this. Share the live, hit the like button, share, buy some badges, buy some gifts, do some super chats. I'm about to drop some on y'all about selflessness and about treating yourself first. It's real easy. Check this out. When you're about to travel somewhere, you're about to go, you're taking a flight, you get on the flight, you're sitting down, they're bringing you, you know what I'm saying, they make sure everybody's seated. What do they do next? They have a conversation in taking care of you first before you take care of anybody else. Has anybody else heard this conversation? I hear this conversation every time I fly. I hear a stewardess or somebody come over the microphone and they say, in the event, now I'm not telling y'all that there has to be any trouble. I don't think that there always has to be something crazy going on for you all to, to get this. But they say in the event that the cabin loses pressure. Come on, man. In the event that the cabin loses pressure, what do they say do? Put your mask on first and then help with other people. Can I tell you that is the message of your life? That's right, Denise. Put your mask on first. That's all I'm asking. I should have titled this live, Put Your Mask On First. Woo! You know what? But that's a conversation for tomorrow, because that when I say put your mask, y'all gonna know what the titles of these lives are, because y'all gonna see them on my Instagram and on my TikTok and everything first. Y'all gonna get a preview of it, because I'm gonna leave that conversation right there. Put your mask on first. Why? Because you are no good to anyone. You are no good to anyone while you going through it, while you dealing with the dramas in your life. You are no good. Ooh, you are no good to yourself when you're going down. Listen, man. Too many times we're just people that are swimming. We're in the pool. We're, you know what I'm saying? And somebody is drowning. And what do? They try to latch on to you. And what do they tell you what to do when somebody is trying to do that and they all willy-nilly? They tell you to slap them or punch them or do something so that you can get stable and then you can help them out. Come on, man. I'm just saying, listen, man. I'm just saying you can't be so selfless that it's detrimental to your livelihood. I'm sorry. You can't be so selfless that you're treating yourself less. Come on, man. I know I'm talking to somebody. I know there should be our likes should be so crazy. Our shares should be bananas. This room should be so on fire right now because y'all need somebody to know that about you. See, here's the dope thing about these conversations that we have. These messages are they are for you in every way for you to consume, but they're also for your friends. They're also for your family. Because wouldn't y'all really want other people to treat y'all better? That's going to be the next Tom Cruise MI6 movie, Mask Left with 2 people. That's funny. Don't y'all want other people? Listen. This is why I need y'all to invite people to our lives, because I'm going to say something to your friends that you can't say to them the way that I can say it that'll wake them up. I'm an advocate for y'all. Every time I get on live, I know it. Every time I get on live, I know I'm advocating for you, whether you know it or not, whether you treat me like I'm their advocate, whether you are participating in appreciating me more than the likes and the shares and all that. And when I say that, I'm just gonna be frank. When I say to you all, like, I've been on this live for 40 minutes, not one rose, not one gift. I've been on Instagram for 40 minutes, not one badge has been bought. I've been on YouTube for 30 minutes. I'm sorry, 30 minutes, not one super chat or anything. but I am going to stand in there because it's necessary that I do this for you. But you got to, your friends, listen, the things that cost you nothing, y'all should be going hardcore over. Y'all should be bringing y'all friends in these lives because y'all want them to be different towards you. And I can say it to them in such a way where they're going to change. Because if they don't change, they don't love you or care about you after hearing these messages. After I tell somebody, hey, you got to treat your friend better because they're being very selfless with you. They're giving themselves to you. You got to treat your boyfriend better. You got to treat your husband better. I see you right there, Denise. You got to treat your loved one better. Because they're selfless. They give you all the love. I see you, Sonny. They give you all the love and energy that they have. What are you doing to reciprocate those things to them? Because they need it. It's the strength. Y'all don't understand. Your investment into other people builds them up. It does not tear them down. When you do not, sow into those people, guess what happens? You're in neutral. So the negative feeling that comes with the fact that nobody's appreciating you, it actually grows. It does not stay the same. It grows. But when you show your appreciation, you start defeating that part. And the easy parts of defeating it is in my book. Like I said before, social digital currency, spend it. You have so much of it, you'll never run out of it. And if you don't know, pick up the book, man. It costs you, you know what it costs, but just do something for yourself because you got to get people on the same page as you. Y'all are communicating with people that don't speak the language. Y'all are talking to people and all they hear is "I can keep that up all day. Y'all are communicating with people who don't understand a word you're saying because they don't know what you know and you're being selfish. And if you can't communicate it, then you got to get somebody who is going to communicate it for you. Come on, man. You have several advocates out here. If you don't find a way to get somebody to understand, look, there's a book. I know most of y'all have heard about it. Most of y'all probably own this book. It's called The 5 Love Languages. Why did you get that book? You didn't get it you got it for yourself first. And this is all I'm saying. Listen, if I'm saying something wrong, y'all can tell me. You have to get it for yourself first, and then give it to somebody else. Because if you don't read it, if you don't know what you're talking about, you can't tell me nothing. Shit, you can't. Excuse my language. You can't tell me anything if you haven't learned it for yourself first. This day, this Monday, this last Monday of Black History Month, which we'll have a whole conversation on that because not one day, not 1 month should be regulated to your life. Every day that you're alive and you're Black, you're creating history. So how you going to confine my life and what I'm going through as a Black person in 1 month? That's a whole nother conversation. Please excuse me for veering off the program. But if you're not putting yourself first, then who is? Exactly. But I can't get into that right now, Clicko, and the Behold a Pale Horse. I can't get into that right now. I got to make sure I temper these conversations because you got to understand, TikTok doesn't raise the flag for these conversations because they build people up. They wake people up. They shake up the narrative. Listen, the difficulty I'm going to have growing is knowing that I'm swimming upstream against a current that is so great that they only want to hear people singing other people's songs. They only want to see people dancing to other people's music and making up dances that don't make sense to me. I would never listen. Y'all slap me in the back of the neck as hard as y'all can if y'all ever see me in the club doing something like this. If y'all ever see me out doing this, anything like that, y'all listen, I give you permission, but make sure I'm not doing what I just did. Make sure I'm not giving somebody an example of how crazy and stupid some of these things that I see on TikTok are. But if y'all should see me and I'm being serious and I feel like I'm doing something, this ain't gonna be it. Like, come on, man. So that's why, I'm a real dancer. I don't know if y'all know this. I can really dance. Like, I dance. I dance. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can dance. Whether it's breaking, whether it's popping, whether it's, like, I can dance. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's real dances. I was on a dance show growing up. I toured as a dancer. What are y'all saying? Like, This irritates me to no end when I watch what people are calling great music nowadays, when I watch what people are calling great. And so I have to advocate for what I want. I ain't afraid to say it. I ain't scared of you. Listen, I ain't scared of none of these people when it comes to the conversation about changing our situation. So even when I talk about, when we get serious and I talk about the plight of the black man, I don't care. I can't do nothing about it. This is just what it got to be. When I talk about, relationships and how they go, I ain't scared of none of y'all. I'm going to say it. And if it reflects what's going on in your life, hopefully you can consume it. Or you could do what I said, is invite your people in the live and they can hear it too. And y'all both can have a wake up moment and look at each other like, man, he talking about us. And listen to the solution that they got. I gave y'all a solution for this selflessness problem. Put yourself first. And that's it right there. Nadine said it. They don't know any better. And if they don't know any better, Nadine, let's think about this. Who's going to teach them? That's right. Nobody's standing in the fold to teach them. Everybody's going along with the flow. The reason why is because people like me who put themselves out there and go against the flow, guess what? It don't change. It ain't good for me. Like, it ain't good business for me to do that. Literally, I watch, and y'all have seen me on my other account, on my official IC Green account on TikTok. It's where I battle at, right? And I battle here a little bit, but not much. But I watch on a regular basis people be very consistent with showing up to do those match games, and they are adorned with gifts. I watched it the other day. It was just the most miraculous thing I've ever seen. People shower these people and there's no information given. So when I see that, I be thinking to myself, what am I? And I'm not saying it's a financial thing. I do want you to understand that it's an appreciation thing. But I be thinking to myself, what is it about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I start balancing things. I'd be having to kind of figure it out. Be like, yo, what is the mindset behind that? Are these people doing that because they want attention or because they like the person like that? They don't know these people personally like that. What is it? You know what I'm saying? And why doesn't good and great information and content win? These are the things this is how I kind of look at stuff. I'm always trying to problem solve. I'm always trying to look at stuff and try to understand better. What is it that I'm missing? What is it? There's a combination there. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you, I know one of the greatest things that I've realized about the community of people who only battle, they don't give a lot of content. It's almost never any content. And they have very low follower counts. It's the craziest thing. These people don't have huge accounts with, like, I got 38,000 people in my, that join my live, that are supporting my live. So I'm not all at once, of course, but that are following me. And at times, and most times, I can guarantee y'all, the day that when I go live and I announce that I'm talking about apple cider vinegar, this live goes crazy. Some of y'all have been in here. It goes crazy when I talk about apple cider vinegar. And I want to manage that same kind of consistency, but it has to be around things that matter and things that make sense and things that are mindset shifts. Apple cider vinegar on deck right now for those of you who are asking and wondering. I haven't drank it yet, but I'm about to hit it. Likeability factor, bro. That's like the cute girl you really have a crush on the ass. True story. Some battles I've seen is they just talk nonsense and beg for gifts. They literally have no content. Exactly. You have a crush on that, ask you to do something crazy. I get it. It's a weird space. I can just tell you that, Clicko. It feels like a weird space to me. And that's why I don't battle on this account, because honestly, I would be embarrassed to do that. On the other account, I don't really give a shit. I don't care what people think. And so I'll be like, yo, make sure y'all do this, whatever. I don't do all the begging shit though, but I do be like, yo, let's run it up. You know what I'm saying? Let's win. I'm a competitor, and that's kind of a reason why I don't do a lot of matching, is because I hate putting, and I said this to you all earlier, because people were asking, why don't I battle and all that? I said, listen, man, the last thing I want to do is find out who you are in this mix. Right now, if I don't battle and you guys don't gift, or you gift a little bit or whatever, there's no expectation to, there's no competition there. But if I battle and y'all don't show up for me in these battles, what up, Jackie? I'm going to feel some kind of way. I literally am. I'm be honest with you. I'm going to feel some kind of way and be like, yo, For all that I offer, there's no reciprocation in that other way. It ain't even about the gifts. It's about winning for me. Like, I saw those win streaks. Y'all don't even understand. Like, I am such a competitor. I don't know if y'all know this, but I am a super competitor. I hate losing. I literally hate losing, especially when I know we can win. And that's what I think about when I think about this whole thing about, all this stuff. The conversation should win. Shouldn't it? Shouldn't this conversation be blowing people out of the water right now? Shouldn't people be like, golly, man, did y'all hear? Listen. We got to love ourselves more. You know what I'm saying? We got to do us more before we do other people, because it's going to be beneficial for everybody. You ever tried, like, I've watched this, and we've all been in these situations where you're on your way up. And as you're on your way up, as you're about to reach your goal, as you're pushing for your goal, somebody asks you to stop doing what you're doing to help support what they're doing. You haven't even made it to the stable point of your career. And let me tell you how dumb, and I'm gonna call it dumb, how dumb we are that we would do it. I'm sorry, Amanda, but listen, start today. Start today. Start today, Amanda. That's why, whatever this message is, y'all can thank Letitia. Letitia's the one who got me on here today. I'm going to tell you why. Letitia hit me up last night, and she just gave me the most heartfelt 2 lines. She just said 2 lines to me, and it just made me click. And I was like, let me adjust, because I was being selfish, and I was feeling some kind of way. And I'll be honest with y'all, I didn't realize how emotional I am. I didn't realize how emotional I am. I don't like people not supporting. I don't. Letitia said, yes, like what the black farmers are going through, we don't support each other, but we will support outside of the box with the quickness. Listen, I've watched it. I'm not calling nobody out, Letitia, but I've watched some of my hardcore champions. I've seen some of my champions go on other people's lives and really support the shit out of these people that they never gonna get close to. I watched it. That's what my platform is about on all my social media, loving me more every day. Absolutely, Bridget. And people need to see and hear that, right? And you have to deliver the conversation about selflessness and selfishness, because people like to make one bad and one good. Neither is good. It's not good to be selfish, but it's good to be aware of yourself and how you are in the mix. It's not good to be so selfless, because just the connotation of less of yourself is bad in itself. And we have to be word people, because how we say things matters, not only to other people, but it matters more to you. You don't listen. I don't understand this concept, but I feel like sometimes when we are talking, that if we're not watching our words, we're acting like we're not listening to what we're saying. We are saying things that, as they come out of our mouths, are part of what we are at that point. Selfless. What a word in itself. Selfless. It's not even in moderation, Denise, because, and when I say that, I'm only saying that the words themselves have negative connotations, and you should not participate in anything negative. What's up, Maggie? Just say, I'm not being selfish. I'm just taking care of myself. Which one sounds better? I'm going to be selfish, or I got to take care of myself. I'm taking good care of myself. If I could, I would sit up and manage. I would have a conversation with anyone who's had a conversation with me. Anybody who's been on the phone with me, anybody who's had a conversation with me, anybody who's had a consultation with me, they understand that I redirect words and conversations all the time. There are very few conversations that I don't redirect somebody's thought process in the way that they speak, not only about themselves, but about others. Too many times we lend these spell-binding words out to the universe. Too many times we put too much of these negative connotations out there for everybody. I'm not saying you, I'm not going to say you should be selfish. I'm going to say you should take better care of yourself. You should take care of you first. Uplift yourself with the words and the conversation that you have. You deserve it. Y'all don't have to get on a Monday motivation with me in order to be motivated. That should start with you. That should be the first thing that you do. If you don't wake up motivated, you are bugging. Bugging. If you don't wake up and you are motivated and lit like a mug, you are bugging. As you should, Bridget. And I'm so sorry to hear that this is the first year that you're doing it. You've done it before, just not as intentional as you're going to be now. And I think that's going to be super dope for you, Bridget. Let me say something to y'all that should change your perspective. And I want y'all to spill it on everybody else. And Neil deGrasse was the one who gave this to me. And if y'all have been on my story, I know who been on my story on my Instagram because they will have heard him say this. You don't need motivation because you're here. You should be celebrating because you're here. Do y'all understand what it took for you to get here? Do y'all understand the magic that is your life and you being here? Do you understand how grand it is for you to be here right now? Do y'all understand how magnificent that is? Letitia, I appreciate the Cash App, Letitia. Do y'all understand how huge that is for you to be here right now? I don't think y'all understand the magnitude of the events that had to happen. I'll start at the beginning. Your mom and your dad had to have some kind of crazy chemistry. Your mom and your dad had to have some kind of crazy chemistry. Let's start there. Listen, not even that, Denise. We ain't talking about what you went through. I'm talking about before you ever thought about anything. Listen, your mom and your dad had to see each other in a way that made them say, I want to kiss you. Do you know how hard it is for you to look at somebody right now and say, I want to kiss you, and actually act upon that? They had to get to a point where they said, not only do I want to kiss you, I want to make love to you. Y'all know how challenging that is? To get to a point where you say, I want to make love to you? How many of y'all making love right now? Who's making love to your old lady while you was out making love? What up, Sassy? Listen to me. I'm just showing you how ginormous this whole thing is. First, your parents had to meet. Now, I'm sure your parents can tell you the circumstances under which they met, and it would be the most craziest thing ever. He was in the gym, and I was in the dive. I wasn't even supposed to be in that class. I wasn't even supposed to do this. I wasn't supposed to do it. I had caught the wrong bus. There's always some crazy circumstances. I'm a historian when it comes to music. Get off me, woman. So first they had to meet. After they met, they had to like each other. After they liked each other, they had to love each other. After they loved each other, they made love to each other. Now let's talk about, that's the surface stuff. Let's talk about the fact that men ejaculate almost 4 million sperm during an ejaculation. Listen. Do you know, I'm just going to say this to y'all, and y'all can take it how y'all want to take it. The first couple times your parents got intimate, guess what they did? They either wore a condom, she either took the pill, he either pulled out, but the first time they made love wasn't the first time you was, that you was in the race. So imagine that. Imagine that there were several opportunities to try for a child, and they were not taken. They were aborted before it was even a thing called abortion. It was before that. That's right, Maggie. I'm going to get to that. So some kids, were caught up in the condom. Some sperm were caught up in the condom. Some sperms were was on somebody's stomach, back, or face, or throat. So, and that guy asked me, was I funny? Some ended up in a sock. Some ended up on somebody's wrist. I'm just telling y'all that there were several missed opportunities before you and your opportunity was even presented. Do y'all hear me? I'm saying something right now. There were several opportunities that were missed before you were even a thought, before you even had a shot. Now imagine it happens. You get your shot. Every last one of us got a shot. Do y'all understand? We are here because we are supposed to be. You and I have beaten out billions of undiscovered talent that will never, ever exist. I don't know if y'all understand the magnitude of that. People talking about going to space and talking about all this crazy stuff. Do you know that you are the greatest creation ever? Do you know the circumstances under which you went? You are chosen. I shouldn't have to motivate you on a Monday. Every Monday you should wake up and say, I made it and I'm still making it. I'm still here. That's a success story. Listen, every day is a success story. Now, yes, the events and the things that we go through may be a little challenging, but regardless, you're a success story. You're winning. You've been winning. You have been winning all your life. You have been winning all your life. I'm going to say it again. You have been winning all of your life. All of it. You ain't lost. If you're here on my live right now, you ain't never lost. You might have lost your way. Sometimes you might have lost your mind. You might have lost your vision, but you ain't never lost. Listen, you are winning. You are winning. You are winning. I like that, Sassy. Sassy on YouTube said, winning since the beginning. You have been winning since before the beginning, though, Sassy. Think about it. You were winning on a special day at a special appointed time to start the process. Come on, man. You are winning. So there should be no greater motivation for you on every day than knowing that you have already. That's right, Jackie. I love the way Jackie said that. Jackie is in all caps saying, I am winning. That's what needs to be posted in your bathroom. That's what needs to be posted on the floor. As soon as you put your feet down, you should step on a whole bunch of I'm winnings. When you look up and you look in the mirror, you should put somewhere in the mirror. You can do this. Listen, I know I come up with some crazy suggestions, but you can do this. On your mirror in your bathroom, you could create like a little halo thing that goes over around your head that says, I am winning. So every time you put your face in front of the place, you're surrounded by the conversation that you're winning. You can do that. It's your mirror. It's your mirror. Ain't nobody coming in your bathroom. If you got a master bathroom, if you got a bathroom to yourself, nobody has to know what you do for yourself so that you come out of the gate pumping. Nobody got to know that. Nobody got to know it. Have any of you guys seen the McDonald's story on Netflix? It's called Founder. No, one mean it's over, Bridget. You still winning. You ain't won yet. You've been winning, and you're still winning. You ain't won. One is the story that we have about each other's lives when it's over. Hey man, listen, man, Bridget was going hard, man. Bridget enjoyed every moment of her life. She won this game. If there's a winner and loser in life, I can tell you that Bridget won. You know what I'm saying? That's right, Clicko. Clicko said something extremely important, and that's why we talking about it right now. He said the saddest part of life is that most of us are winning and don't even know it. Listen, I used to have this conversation. I've had this conversation at least once every year, and I'm sure I've had it a whole bunch of times. But I have a conversation with people saying, and I say this to you, you have to know when you're winning, because if you don't know when you're winning, you're going to lose. I've said that in relationships. We be having a conversation and somebody, you be saying some crazy shit, and I'd be like, yo, you don't even know that you're winning right now. You don't know how good you got it, do you? Because the way that you're communicating to me is like I'm out here running the game, like I'm doing like your friends will tell you how the crazy shit is. Your friends will tell you about their crazy life with their significant other. Your friends will tell you how hard they got it with the person in their life. And you won't even know that you're winning. You won't even know that you got it good. You complain about these little bitty things. They man out there having threesomes, foursomes, and snorting and doing all kind of stuff. And you mad because he playing video games. You mad because he doing you don't know when you winning, do you? That conversation is always gonna blow my mind. I'm a gamer, y'all know that. I play games, and I do it because it's always kept me out of trouble. I produce music. Music for me when I producing on a regular basis keeps me out of trouble. Why? Because I'm in a space where I'm creative and doing my own thing. Where, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got to know when you're winning. That's it. It's super simple. And you should wake up every day knowing that you're winning. You won the night. I can even go there. I say, listen, there are people who are losing it in the night. You won the night. You woke up. You have another shot to do whatever you want to do. But winners get to do that. Winners get to do whatever they want to do. Y'all don't, and it's true, man. I have such a winning attitude that if I'm I'm cutting up front. I'm sorry. If I'm going to do stuff, I'm going to do it how I want to do it and then let other people worry about it. People be so mad at me because I do things that I feel like they're mad at me because I do things that they want to do but don't do. I do what I want to do. I know that's crazy deep, right, Maggie? Maggie said that's deep. It is. And there have been some slogans in here we got to take away. I love Sassy slogan says winning since the beginning, man. True story, Clicko. To some degree, right? Clicko said on the flip side, losing is only a loss if you give up. Yes, in the grand scheme of life, you're absolutely right. When you stop fighting, when you stop pushing, when you stop trying, you've effectively lost. Now, you've lost the desire to continue. You've lost the desire to fight. It's evident you've lost it. Not that you can't regain it. The only thing that you can't regain is if you decide to take irreparable measures, right? Irreparable measures are things that you could do that you can't undo. When you burn yourself and effectively change the way your skin is, that's irreparable damage. You can't fix that. Most people, you know what I'm saying? Amanda said, gotta put for tooth. Yeah, you better put that tooth fairy money underneath there. Amanda's managing a lost tooth for her son. So yeah, absolutely take care of that. As long as I can manage to, as long as great people like Letitia keep their hand on my back, as long as great people like you keep supporting the live, you know what I'm saying? By, not only with social digital currency, but actual currency, and then also social currency. Those three things matter to me a whole lot. I'll get up. I'll sacrifice my nights so I can give y'all my mornings. But I can't be the only one in there. I can't be the only one sacrificing, period. I cannot be the only one sacrificing. If I'm gonna get up early, then y'all gotta be here. Y'all gotta show up. Y'all gotta share. Y'all gotta like. Y'all gotta do these things so that it's reciprocal. I'm into reciprocity. I'm into reciprocity. I don't know about y'all, but I'm into reciprocity, and I'm gonna give it to you if you know what I'm saying, in return. And here's the cool thing, right? Sometimes some of y'all are in relationships. Some of y'all are dealing with folks that require you to do something first. Is that crazy? For y'all happiness, you got to lead the way. And that's usually, the men, if we're humble enough, we can do it on a regular basis and it not even be a big deal. But at times, ladies, I know y'all don't want to lead. I know y'all don't want to manage those things, but y'all have a responsibility as well to put forth the steps that you want. Listen, ladies, fellas, no one is a mind reader. And I'm only saying this, I want to gear this to the ladies, this little section a little bit more so y'all understand something. Women have expectancies, and most time men expect nothing. And when I say that is, y'all have ideas and thoughts and processes that y'all want to have happen, but yet you will not say them out loud. You will assume that somebody is supposed to know. Please, let's stop that right now. Can we? Can we?
Yo, please stop.
Yeah, because we can't. We don't mind read well at all. We can understand and learn there's some things that you're accustomed to, but you're like cats. We have no idea. We have no idea when you want to be treated a certain kind of way and whatnot. Clicko said it's on TikTok. He says it's mentally exhausting to always make the first move and lead the way. Yes, it is. When you completely have to do it yourself, it's almost like, and ladies, y'all not gonna appreciate this, but it's like you pulling a mule. Like you showing somebody where to go. And you don't want to have to do that all the time. You absolutely want to. We understand as men, we understand we are going to lead. Leading with no direction is just horrible. I just want y'all to know that. Leading with no added direction, meaning we're going to lead, and we want to lead you in a way into a place, and as we go, that you are excited about going, that you're invested in going, and that you're supporting in going. That's it. It's super simple in that manner. We don't want to take you a place that you don't want to go because we understand that's going to cause anguish for everybody. Fellas, in the event you ever get into an argument with your girl over something that you know that you didn't start, that it was unintentional, you have to look her in the face and say, do you think this was the response that I was trying to get from you? Do you think this is what I've been aiming for all day, is for you to be pissed off, for you to bug out, for you to curse me out? Then please give me some grace in this space. I had no intentions of making you upset. I didn't plan to forget what I forgot at the grocery store. I didn't plan on that. I didn't know you wanted me to do this because we ain't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving y'all some examples. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know you wanted to. Yeah, so many different things that we don't know that, we got to give each other some grace. Letitia on YouTube says, I'm sure I can speak for most. We all appreciate you showing up today. The knowledge you drop is so educational because a lot of us don't stop and fully break life events down the way you do. Thank you so much. Yeah. I just try to look at things, man, in the simplest form and without a whole lot of stuff on it. You know what I'm saying? Like we got enough people. We got enough educated people, bookworm people. What up, Jules? We got enough people who are educated telling us all these different things. You know what I mean? I'm legal, Bridget, and that's your curiosity can do what it want to do, but I'm legal. Bridget on TikTok said, just out of curiosity. I love when people set up conversations like that. I don't want to offend you, but you know what I'm saying? It's one of those. It's not as bad as one of those, but the just out of curiosity, I want to know da. All right, well, cool. I understand that you're curious. You're going to hold on to some of that curiosity because as much as you love your curiosity, I love my mystery. You know what I'm saying? I love being mysterious in certain ways and certain things. I love to have a piece of me that I keep for myself that I can share with you later on. But as of right now, you know what I'm saying? I'm legal, baby. And and rightfully so. Bridget said she's just asking because a lot of young men don't speak this way. And what it is we aren't surrounded by people who share content. Share the information. You know what I'm saying? The conversation is there. It's just not done the same way. And then if it's not done the same way, it can't be received the same way. Kind of like the pandemic. Kind of like what we went through with the conversation about what goes in your body and what doesn't. Excuse me. The education around those things is there, but because it's disseminated in certain ways, people will hear you and manage it, and people will hear you and dismiss it. So what up, Carlone Queen? So with that being said, man, I'm just saying, Bridget said, I'm a minister and I wish more young men could grasp this concept. They will when you invite them to my live. They will when you have allowed them to come in here and hear this conversation, because like it is a conversation to change. My conversation is mainly a mindset shift. That's it. I don't want to be an influencer. I want to be a thought leader. I want to be somebody who says his perspective makes sense. Wow, why didn't I think of that? I've been good at that all my life. And I've been good at standing on it for myself, you know what I'm saying, and being an example of that. Like when people are around me, they're like, yo, you really do. Yeah, I do. I'm not just talking. This is what I do. You know what I'm saying? The reason why you appreciate it is because it is what it is. I'm not making it up. It's authentic. When I tell y'all I do the stuff I do and the way that I do it, I'm actually doing it. I don't film it because that makes it generic and it doesn't make it what it is. But I do and am who I say I am all the time, when I am, where I am, with whoever I'm with. Now, don't ask me to repeat that, because I don't, that's going to be on YouTube or whatever. And y'all going to have to go back and look at that on YouTube to really take that sound bite. But other than that, I am who I am because I am who I am all the time. I'm not who I am because I always change up. And everybody, anyone who's been on my live long enough, which will be, we're working on, we're over 7 months of me being live on YouTube. It should be, on TikTok. That should be enough time for you all to have been able to make some assumptions or make some educated, conversation about my lives and my existence on this platform. What up, Starshine? Like, you should know that now. That, every day, different topic, different perspective, same solid, outlook though. Same, it's not goofy that way. You know what I'm saying? I think that's goofy when people don't have a solid enough foundation. And that's all you're trying to do in life, is build a foundation for yourself so you can stand on that foundation at the least. Anything you do above and beyond that foundation should excite people. People should be, magnanimous about it. They should feel crazy. You know what I mean? Thank you. I appreciate that, Bridget. People should be excited about you. Bridget said, on TikTok, she said, I'll share your social media. I just found you. You are blessed. And I feel that way. I feel just having you guys here on the live, I'm blessed. I know that for a fact. I'm not a person to shy away from knowing what it is. Like I said, that was another statement of mine, is you got to know what you know. Listen, if you're on my YouTube right now, hit the like button, y'all. We got enough people in here for that like button to make a difference. But I'm a person who says, know what you know. I never really have to ask y'all because I know what I know. And when I say that, I mean, I don't have to ask how y'all feel about me because I see y'all. I don't have to ask certain people how they feel about me because they've subscribed. They are sharing, they are liking all the time. They're showing up all the time. I don't even have to discuss those things. These are things that I can, to a certain degree, understand, but never take advantage of, you know what I'm saying? Or take for granted. I know my people, you know what I'm saying? So you got to know what you know. When we talk about this topic today, which is don't be so selfless that you are yourself-less. It's important that we understand who we are and what we want. I used to ask, I ask people, especially when I'm having a one-on-one consultation, I ask them, I say, well, what does it look like to have what you want? I suggest each of you at some point, today or tomorrow, if you haven't already done this, write down what you want. Like, look at it in writing. Like, write down what you want. Whether it's in your job, whether it's in your relationship, whether it's in your marriage, whether it's in your dating, whether it's in your health, write down what you want. Like literally write down what you want so you can see it. And that was why I said put that arch in your on your mirror. I am winning. You know? As we should. Bridget says I'm 52 years young and I fear for the generations under me. They don't know their worth. Well, then the job that we have at hand right now is teaching and telling and showing them that they are more and greater than what they think they are. And because there's a machine, excuse me. Excuse me. There's a machine out there designed to deter them from knowing who they are, their power, their strength. There's a machine out there designed to not allow them to ever fully develop. Then our conversation and our interaction with that generation of people should be to strengthen, motivate, inspire, direct. That's the job. And it's not just for your kids. You got to be that to all kids. You got to be that to the generation. Now, it sounds like a lot, but it isn't. It just means every time you interact with one of these kids, your interaction has to leave a lasting, positive, inspirational, motivational, educational stain on them. And you have to leave something on them that they're going to always lean toward in times of doubt. And it comes from repetition. The one thing that these platforms have understood and what these creators that are succeeding are understanding is that consistency and repetition is the way, point blank, period. There's a program out there called Kumon. I don't know if y'all have it in y'all city. It's Kumon. It's a learning and tutoring program called Kumon. And kids go to this. And what they do is they teach you math and reading skills. And they teach them in such a way that they repeat the assignments over and over till they know for sure you know better. That's the way that we should manage those people that are in our lives. We should be so consistently repetitive that they know what it is and it starts becoming second nature to them. You say you want to change the kids. What's up, Diana? You say you want to change the community, then you got to show up consistently repeating the success that you want. That's all success is being able to do something over and over and over and over again to the point where people identify with you for that and they champion you for that because you have a positive breakthrough. That's it. If you want to get through, how do you teach a kid to walk? You stand them up every day when their legs are strong enough. Now let's talk about that. In the process of a baby getting their legs strong enough, they have to crawl. Crawling helps build those muscles so that they can then prepare themselves to stand. What we haven't done with the younger generations, and that we still have time to do. I don't want anybody to think that the fact that you're alive right now, you can do these things continuously. But we have to teach these kids how to walk. What up, Aaron? We got to teach them how to crawl so that they can walk so they can run. So in the educational perspective, that means don't come down on them with the end game. You can't come to them with what's last. What up, Cortez? You can't come to them with what's at the finish line. You got to start at the beginning as if you don't know what they know and they don't know what you know. So you got to start at the very beginning and you got to give them a conversation that is going to lead them to the next thing. It's almost like you don't start off giving these kids the nastiest or healthiest food that they're going to get. You got to give them something to make them understand that this is what you're supposed to use to how you're going to get nourishment. This is what you're going to eat. What up, Nikki? Good morning. This is what you're going to, start with. Where you start should not be where you finish, and you should have a path to get there. So when you're meeting these kids for the first time, go to where they are. Meet them where they are at. That's what I ain't even gonna say kids. Anybody in your life, meet them where they are. Allow them to show you who and what they stand on. From that point, what up, Savannah? From that point, you have a starting point, and you can set up some points of where to. You can't even set it up there. In the beginning, you just are learning. In the beginning, you are learning where to start from. And this may take a month. It may take 2 months, but you got to learn where they're at. Once you find that space and place that they're at, then you can take it to the next step and say, are you interested in going here? All right, Bridget. And once you find out where they want to go, then you could project the end game. But you need those 2 points, where they are, where they want to go, and then you are the director to show them how to get there, because you've got more experience, because you've traveled, because you've learned, because you're educated, because all these things will help you help them. So the generation before us is not lost. That requires a whole different kind of projection of yourself. Totally possible, totally doable, totally acceptable. You just got to decide. Today's conversation that should be changing your situation. Don't be so selfless that you see less of yourself. Don't be so selfless that you see yourself less. Understand, there's some bullet points I was hoping that y'all would take from this. There's some quotes I hope that you all take from this, that you've been winning since the beginning. You are a winner every day that you are alive because of what the race you ran, because of your participation, because of what you had to go through to get here and to be here. You don't need Monday motivation. You are the motivation. Your life is a testimony. Everything that you've done thus far and continue to do means you are winning. You are ahead of the game. Don't let anybody tell you different. Don't even let life tell you different, because the whole point that you have a life means you're winning. Yep, y'all hold on to that one. Winning since the beginning. Because I think you all overshoot what winning should mean to you. And I'm just trying to put it in perspective for you. You are alive. Yep, you are the motivation. Like, y'all should be, you know what? Y'all should be writing those down. I'm going to write them down too. Because it matters. I am the motivation. Winning since the beginning. And I'm writing it down because there used to be an old saying back in Egyptian times that if it was written down, then that was an affirmation. Remember what they said? As it is written, let it be done. It's important. Listen, if y'all don't understand, I'm gonna tell y'all how sinister the game is. They have removed you from writing the scripts of your life. I could go deep into this, but I'm gonna make it super surface level. Since you got computers, what have you stopped doing? You stopped writing. Since you got iPhones and Android phones, what have you stopped doing? You stopped writing. Why do they want you to stop writing? Because as it is written, let it be done. Your writing is one of the most powerful things there is. One of the most powerful gestures you can ever make. You're writing a script. Have any of you ever written a letter to somebody? If you haven't, I implore you to do it so you can understand the power of your words when it is written in script. Listen, this is why people tell you to write down what you want. Listen, this is why honey-do lists work. This is why it is written out what people want from you, because when you can read it, you can see it, you can internalize it, and then you begin to do it. Writing is one of the most powerful things you can do. I suggest you get back to doing it. I'm all for advancement. I'm all for moving into the future. I'm all for that. But I'm also an advocate for understanding that your writing is powerful beyond your, listen, Sassy suggested that you write your vision. And I agree. If you're not writing down with your own pen, paper, pencil, marker, whatever, if you're not writing on a piece of paper, if you're not writing stuff down, man, you don't understand. Like, if you don't understand the power of your words, you will when you start writing them down, and you will be empowered from your own writing. You'll be able to see it. You'll be able to repeat it. You'll internalize it. You'll remember it. Come on, man. Super powerful stuff in your writing. You got to write stuff down. You have to share your writing. Write something. Listen, this is what I want. This is your assignment, y'all. This is y'all assignment. I want y'all to write down no less than 100 words, maybe 2 paragraphs of how you feel about somebody. And I want you to give it to that person. I don't know who they are and what they mean to you, but you do. So I want you to take a pen and paper and just write a quick note. It ain't got to be a whole lot. You can just write a little bit and say, I can tell you one of the most powerful things I can write right now and hand to somebody. I can write on a piece of paper. I'll give y'all some suggestions. I can write on a piece of paper right now saying, hey, beautiful. Didn't get a chance to text you, but I thought about you all day today. Just wanted you to know. And you give that to them or have somebody give that to them. Do you know how crazy that's going to be? When is the last time you received something in writing from somebody? What is that? Invite to join live. I don't really do the live thing like that, Cortez. I don't do the live during the conversation. Maybe I'll do it in a minute or two. But I appreciate that. Is he matching or something? Let me see. Let me invite him. He's got a few people on. Let me invite him to this conversation. Yo, there he goes.
What's up, Dwight?
Yo, what up, Cortez? I seen you pop in a little earlier. I was having a conversation with my followers and my people about don't be so selfless that you see yourself less.
Don't be so selfless that you see yourself selfless.
Nope, not that you see yourself selfless, that you see yourself less.
They see yourself less.
Yeah.
Okay.
So imagine this. A lot of people, and most good people, are givers by nature. Like most of us, most good people are just givers. We are selfless with our time. We're selfless with our energy. We're selfless with our presence. We're just like, when you get on, you don't have to get on and make people laugh. You don't have to do that. And the fact that you do it is a very selfless act. But I would go further and say, don't be so selfless that you see yourself less, that you start becoming something that isn't incumbent of who you naturally are. You feel what I'm saying? Some people are giving so much they don't recognize themselves in the relationships that they're forging.
I agree. And so I was told that the more value you give someone based off of your leisure and your freedom, or in without being told, the more like you devalue yourself.
And there's some truth to that, but that's only in the event that it's not reciprocated. So there's going to be somebody out there that really values your time, your energy, and everything that you do for them, Cortez. They're going to really appreciate it, and they're going to show you. I think on TikTok, one of the ways that people show you is just by exactly what we're doing right now. We're in a match and we're vibing or whatever, and people will show that they appreciate you by their gifting, by their conversation, by the words that they leave in the comments, by their sharing and their liking. Those are ways on social media that people can show you how they feel about you. You know what I mean? And if you spend an absorbent amount of time, like I think one of the coolest things that I saw when you go live and when you do your thing is that because of the audience that you've cultivated, they understand there's value in what you bring to the table. Like those comedy shows, those making people laugh. Yeah, it's not, no. It's not how you would want it to be. I'm not saying everybody does, but there's definitely a core group of people who's like, yo, I'm not going to let Cortez spend his time and not show him value for his time. Right. And that's a balance that has to be adjusted. And I think I think all creators would say to themselves, man, I wish people would appreciate me for the time and energy I put on this platform as much as you see other people getting appreciated for their time and effort, and it's less than what you bring to the table.
I agree with that statement.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've watched it. I've seen it. I'd be like, yo, these people don't like you bring an element of structure and laughter, and I enjoy being on your stage when we clicking and it's going off. I love cracking people up. I love roasting. I think it's a fun atmosphere. And you bring more value to other lives that I've seen where people are just chilling.
Do you feel like it's like that based on the platform, like the balance? Do you feel like the balance is off because of what you're bringing your energy to,
Absolutely.
or are we speaking on just different social media like I feel like, okay, yeah, I get on here, I do a show every day, but people don't owe me nothing because I do that by choice.
Right. Right. Yes.
But
And
since there's so much other things to take away from what I do by choice, that's more distracted and or drama filled, that can take away from what it is that I bring to the
well,
table.
well, that's where it goes back to what I said about being so selfless that you see yourself less. Being so selfless that when you're giving by choice the time and energy that you put towards something, there the law of the universe is that there's reciprocity in it, especially if it's positive. I mean, there's a reaction. There should be a reaction to every action that you not should be. There is one. For everything that you do, there's going to be something that isn't being done. So when you're spending your time on these lives, if it's not beneficial in some way, shape, or form, you're going to stop doing it.
Do you feel like you have to first figure out what that beneficial is?
Well,
Like for me,
everybody has a different measurement.
okay, yeah, like for me, people like, okay, why do you do them shows? Rah, 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 rah. You're a comedian. You're too good for that. You devalue yourself, et cetera, et cetera. But in reality, I'm working on
Right.
how I host, how I talk, how I remember things, my pace, my quickness of comedic time, my delivery. I'm working on all that stuff outside of just what I'm doing every day on here.
Right.
And I feel like people don't realize that. It's, why is he on here every day? Or why is he so consistent? Or why is he doing this and that and that? So I think I think you're right when you say if you can find the beneficial aspect of it, it's worth it. If you can, it's not.
Well, I mean, that's the story of life, though, right? Like, we all have to find that thing that does it for us, whether it be a relationship, a job, getting on social media. You wouldn't get on if there wasn't some sort of benefit. And I'm gonna tell everybody, if there's nothing in it for you, please don't do it. If you feel like there's nothing in it for you, then there's going to be nothing good that can come out of it, because you have to have, and this is what I was saying about earlier about being so selfless that you lose yourself. You have to be you have to take care of yourself. I don't like using the word selfish because it has a negative connotation to it, but you got to take care of yourself. If there's no benefit to you getting on learning how to host better, learning how to communicate better, learning, running jokes and see how the jokes, land and whatnot, then you go elsewhere for that. You do something else for that. But because you're here, then in your giving, the reciprocity should be the response that you get from the audience that you're entertaining. Now, whether that's
I feel like that's something that you have to give yourself.
What do you mean?
If I get on this platform and I look for people to give me that energy, that respect, that reciprocated love, I'll feel bad because I know I don't always get that.
I think that, and I have a differing opinion, because this is called social media. And in my being social, you want to be in a position where the people you're being social with appreciate you being here. And the lack
They
of
don't have to.
there's no requirement. Nobody's saying there's a requirement for it. And this is where you have to maintain and take care of yourself. If you're not getting what you want in a situation or in a place that you are, remove yourself from that place or do something different.
That's like saying the job comes with a lot of bad shit, bullshit. A lot of people you hate quit.
Say it again. I'm sorry. Say it again.
That's like saying if the job you work isn't as fun or isn't as paying or isn't doing what it is that you want them to do, you should quit.
You
But
should.
you gotta remember, there's BS to everything. I agree with you. I wouldn't say you should quit. I would say you should transition into something better. More so, oh, this job ain't for me. Rah 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 rah. I'm gonna move around. I think you gotta be able to have tough skin, regardless of what job, what platform, what social media thing you do, and be able to boss up and take it. Like and that's a lot of times. Being honest with you, I could have left this app just based off of what I've seen and the energy and how people have treated me. But again, when you treat something like a job, you can't just say I quit, and then people take that as if you're not guiding your energy the right way. But again, it takes years to get to the top, and it only takes a second to say I quit. So I think we as people got to stop normalizing. Oh, somebody said something I don't like, or oh, somebody did this. I'm gonna move around. I also think social media it can still be a place for you to be vulnerable. A lot of people choose not to, but you can't run away from the fact that you're human like everybody else.
Yeah, I don't know that life. I don't know the life of I'm going to stay a place where I'm not completely happy. Now, what I will say is this is
Happiness is what you make it and it's what you do with it though. It's not necessarily always, I mean, it can be a setting that you are able to change, yes.
when it
But
listen
like, go on.
when it comes to a job, bro, yeah, at that point you measure the value in it. Do I care more about one aspect of it more than the next? Meaning, is it as bad as I really say it is? And that's what it boils down to in a lot of situations is am I tripping or is it screwed up? Because if it's screwed up, I gotta go. But if it ain't as screwed up as if it's not that screwed up, then let me figure out why I'm tripping and continue.
So if me and you work together
Yep.
and I purposely fuck you over and I
We
purposely ruin your energy every single morning,
then we can't work.
but it's me trying to get rid of you. It's me trying to get more hours. It's me trying to get you to quit. It's me trying to deteriorate you from your actual motive. It's me trying to slow you down within life. You got to remember, people work because we're told. Well, we're not even told. We're doing our dues diligently. When you're doing your dues diligently, that don't come with nothing. We got to stop making it seem like somebody owe us good vibes, good energy, good this, good this.
If
The only time you're supposed to really do that is when you've done it long enough to be able to transition into something better. Not saying allow that to dictate your happiness, but when you step out in this real world or when you get on social media, we're not in charge of that. We don't have to respect that.
it's not about the expectancy. It's more about what's actually happening. Like I don't move off of what I expect people to do. I just watch and see what happens and what happens, what goes down and what doesn't go down. That's all it is for me on social media. Either you're supporting me or you're not. And if you're not supporting me, then I'm cool with you not supporting me and I can accept you and push you, you can go over there with that. But for those people who are supporting me, I will pour my energy into those people and continue on.
I mean, you gotta be able to identify how much energy you pour into somebody, yes, but support don't always come in the form of a good manner. That's why I say it's a circle of life. Like if I do my show every day, I know there's people that's gonna say bad things. I know there's people that's gonna hate and try to tear down. But I look at that and I read that stuff and I take that stuff as support because they are a number. They do have an opinion. You know what I'm saying? And they are offering some type of validation or sequence to you. Now it's different. It's kind of like they saying, "Oh, you ain't got no haters. You ain't doing nothing right." That like that's a that so that's that same reference. I mean, I feel like
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between publicity and then actual, what you can manage, right? When I'm in this,
that's true.
when I'm on live, when I'm on these lives, the greatest thing that I've cultivated is that my audience is appreciative, but they're more positive than they are negative. So there's a reciprocation that is bigger and greater than the negativity that is there. There hasn't been a time that I've been online. Well, there has. There my lives don't have a lot of haterism to them, but when they do, my I don't even have to. You similar to you. I've seen it on your lives. You don't really got to say nothing. If you decided not to say nothing or to address those haters, your audience would before you ever had to say anything. It's almost like you got more piranhas in the water than you have goldfish. So when the goldfish,
I have though.
You say you what now?
I have though.
What do you mean? You've had what?
I've addressed haters. I've
Oh no,
addressed people.
yeah, absolutely. I've seen you do it.
It's not a good. I wouldn't recommend it though.
No, listen.
Like quite frankly, like again, I'm human, so I don't mind being vulnerable on social media. A lot of people say you shouldn't, but when I am, that's the most you're gonna get the backlash.
I mean, only because social media, like there are people waiting to take digs at all of us. Not many for me because my platform is designed differently, my conversation is differently. But because you have a roasting platform, because you have a comedic one, and you know, there's an element of letting people know what it is, you know what I'm saying, of being funny in that way. People like to come at you more often than they'll ever come at me. You know what I'm saying? And it's based off of the audience that we've cultivated. So for me, when I talk about health and wellness, when I talk about mindset shifting and those different things, that's the basis of my platform. I just need people to look at things outside of the way that they've been looking at them so that they can change their outlook and to change the way that they've been doing things. So today we talked about being selfless, but I also talked about, there was some key takeaway conversations, because this is usually called Monday motivation. Usually we have a conversation to get people lit, to get fired up for the week or whatnot, or get fired up period as they move. But today I dropped some conversation on people to help them understand that you don't need Monday motivation. You are the motivation. When I think about people who talk about if they're winning and losing in life, you're winning because you're here. And I backtracked all of the things that had to happen for you to be here. Cortez, do you know you were not the only sperm in your daddy's nut when he busted your mom? Like, you're not the only one. No, I'm saying, listen, that's the realest shit I can tell anyone is like, look, you were in a group of 4 million sperms racing to become here.
No, I laugh at that because I'm a twin, but I get what you're saying.
So 2 of y'all made it. You know what I'm saying? Which is an anomaly in itself, because in most lives, only one.
Right.
And the fact that y'all both 2 are here, y'all should be celebrating like to no end, because not only did y'all beat the odds, but y'all did it together. That's huge, bro. To have a twin, that's huge. And y'all are winning because every day you get to participate in this thing called life. You can have bad days, but they should all end with I'm winning. No matter what happened today, I'm winning. Because I'm here. It took your mom, and I told people in my live today, it took a glint in your mom and dad's eyes when they saw each other. That was the first thing. They had to fucking like each other. Then after that, they had to say, I want to know you. And after they said, I want to know you, they got to say, hey, you know, I'm feeling you in such a way, I want to kiss you. Now, I also went on to say that the time that they made love, I'm sure you didn't get born on the first time they made love. Shit, your daddy probably beat off a few times. Your mom probably took the pill. Your dad probably wore a condom. All these different, dad busting her mouth, busting her back, busting her stomach, done all these different things before it ever got to your time. I know you don't want to hear that shit, but it's the truth. He probably did all these things that led to the moment that you and your twin were born. Do you know how big that? Do you know how much of a winner you are for that?
I think being born and brought into a world that allows you to be great is definitely a W. Yeah. But I think the real W is like kind of the beginning of what you said, is being able to remind yourself you are the winner, you are the motivation, you are the will that you need to thrive. And I like that. Because most of the time you hear the cliche stuff, you hear oh, you're gonna get there, oh, your time coming, and that allows people to wait and sit around, and that allows people to move at a pace, and that allows people to actually feel the money going down and the money going up, or their problems getting bigger and their problems getting smaller. So I appreciate that. I'm gonna tell somebody that when I see them, like, you already won.
You should. Already a winner. You're winning every day. Listen,
I ain't never heard it like that personally.
And that's why I'm on here, bro. My perspective and the way I look at things is just a little bit different than everybody else's. And that's the things that have allowed me to maneuver through not only the entertainment industry, just to maneuver through relationships with people. And I don't consume this. I don't consume and regurgitate the way most people do. Like, I don't take in information and then look at it like everybody else.
That's fair. I try to have that same outlook on life, but I don't.
Listen,
because I have too opinionated, and I give everybody like the benefit of the doubt first, and then when I spaz as the celebrity kid, everybody makes you out to be the bad guy. So it's different on my end.
Yeah, I mean, but the coolest thing that you have is the ability to make a comedic moment out of everything. Like that. God bless you. That's going to be one of your greatest superpowers. Is if you can manage not to ever, nothing to me as a comedian, nothing should ever make you mad. It's creative material. Like, you can't.
I think we gotta go back and reevaluate why people got into comedy to begin with. And I think not everybody for that reason, but I think that's tricky.
Well, we get in. I can tell you what made me become funny is because I got tired of fighting. Like, I used to fight a lot. I got tired of fighting.
And I don't know. I think we're different. I'm a comedian who has to have tough skin and do all this, and then it's not until you really get to know me is when you realize, okay, he's sensitive, or okay, he does this because he was treated a certain way growing up, and he felt like he wouldn't get that respect, or he's doing this because he's trying to walk in his purpose of life based off what he's been through in his past.
Yeah.
So I think it's different.
It's no, it's not.
And then again, you're wiser and older than me.
Yeah.
So you are able to look past your trauma or whatever the case may be. Not saying it's not there or you don't have it.
No, it's
you're able to look past that and be able to say, well, I came a long way, and I'm able to give people this energy because I've made it through what I went through.
It is a little bit of that, but it's also, I understood early that comedy is a protective measure. Comedy is something that we do to protect ourselves. We make others laugh so that they can laugh at what we're directing them to versus laughing or poking fun at us. You got to remember, I was a black kid with green eyes, sandy brown hair, and orangish brown skin as a kid. I was either fighting or trying to figure out how not to fight. And when I figured out, I was quick with it. You know what I'm saying? When I was quick in my thoughts, when I was very, I could examine people and I could really, you know what I mean? I was a better listener than talker. And that allowed me to hear people's strong and weak points. And it allowed me to look at them and say, I would roast people so bad, Cortez, that they would never, ever try to roast me again. And that's how hard I went in. I went so, but like, I got people right now that used to be like, yo, don't say nothing, man. Cause once he own you, he don't get off you till you crying mercy. And that was my protective measure. Because other than that, then I had to be fighting because people wanted to fight. I'd be like, yo, I ain't trying to. And that's the other thing I learned is like, I don't have to fight because you want to fight. The only time I'm ever going to fight is because I want to fight. And most of the times I don't want to fight.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a bunch of, like I said, it's a bunch of mindset and perspective things that, you know what I'm saying, I like offering up on my live when I'm communicating with people. I think it's important.
Well, I value you, man. I think it's dope how you're able to, still get a word across and still be able to maintain that message and still be able to teach people, like, it's a positivity thing at the end of the day. I think sometimes I forget that. And I get so caught up in trying to entertain and be this guy. And then when it's time to be, Dwight, which is wise and actually aware that it can be difficult. And then sometimes I don't be talking that Dwight talk to people who deserves it. Because it's not always taken in. And I think that's an age thing.
It is. There's a level of experience to it in dealing with folks, and then you deciding who you want to be at all times, right? As an entertainer, I will tell you, your duality matters for you. And when I say your duality is, one of my closest friends, most people know Usher's like the homie. So, So the Usher and that the world sees, there's a different Usher that I know and I see, right? And once you're able to manage those, now I can tell you there was a time where he ain't managed that very well. Like, he was talking to me Like he would communicate like he would be Usher the star in regular moments. And I'd be like, my nigga, that ain't what we doing, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't work for you, nigga. Like, we ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? I've never worked for Usher. You know what I'm saying? He's always been the homie. Like, I always told myself, I don't want to work with my friends because I can't trust that they'll manage the working relationship the right way personally.
And I think that should be your topic for like another day or tomorrow, like managing your work friends and your play friends.
All right, managing friends. I'm writing that shit down right now.
Yeah, put keeping your work friends and your play friends separate. That's something I gotta learn how to do. Honestly, I've been so quick to try to put my friends in position to win.
But
and then when their work ethic don't turn out to where I want it to be,
that's right.
Instead of just actually working with people who do what I do, and then turning up with friends who are worth turning up with, which is still kind of tricky because I love putting my friends in position to win.
So I'm gonna tell you one of the coolest things, and that I hope that you've had an opportunity to look at, is that Nick, working with Nick should show you how to manage that, right? When I see Nick, like I saw when Nick came out to Vegas for Usher's birthday, I didn't see Nick with none of the cast. I saw Nick with him and his girl. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of those things that you understand that he kind of manages that differently. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you've seen on camera Nick and working Nick is a whole different Nick than Nick in the office or Nick around the way type shit.
Correct.
And it's important because if you don't separate those two, and I can tell you, when you get to a certain level of success, then yeah, you can manage it a whole lot differently because it doesn't require so much, and you don't have to be the facilitator for putting your friends on directly. Meaning you can put your friends on and it not be so much of a reflection of what you got going on, nor can it cost you as much.
Like, that's tricky when your friends are comedians or they're actors or they're entertainers.
Yep, but right now it costs you too much right now though. Like it costs you too much right now to do that. So you have to do not, and it's funny because it's right in alignment with the conversation today. You don't have to be selfish. You can't be as selfless.
Right.
You feel me? Like now is your time to build, and you got to build your foundation up so strong that should you decide to invite anybody to stand on the foundation that you've built, that it will not crumble, fold, or lean.
It makes sense.
We just got to be patient. And it's a giving person's attitude. Like that's the whole conversation we've had today is about people like you, Cortez, who you really do want to look out for other people. You do want to put people on. You do want to put people in position. And at the point of you doing that, you can't do it now. Meaning you can't get on the flight and the flight starts losing air and you put on somebody else's mask before you put your own on.
That's true. I do gotta learn to put myself first. Damn.
That's it. I mean, in a nutshell, that's it. And you can't feel guilty about that. Most people should respect that about you, that you're willing to say, listen, now's not the time. That's not a no. It just means now's not the time. Why don't you do this? In the meanwhile, while you see me going through this, why don't you support me in such a way that I get to where I'm trying to get to quicker? That way I can help you faster. It's hard. When in Atlanta, I watched it. I watched Listen, I watched Ludacris become Ludacris. Ludacris and Poon Daddy were working at the radio station. You didn't even know that Ludacris rapped. Ludacris was surrounded by all dope people. And then they all collectively said, hey, we gonna all get behind Luda. Luda is the one. Luda has the it factor. Luda is the one we gonna follow into this thing and we gonna push him. And that's what they did.
Right.
Now Luda is Luda. You know what I'm saying? Luda is who he is. Talent mixed with support will get you all the goals that you want to get, but we don't teach people how to support us correctly. And so we don't get the support that we need.
Damn, that's true. So can you be mad at somebody for that reason or no?
Can you be mad at them for what?
For not knowing how to support you.
You can't be mad at somebody for their naivety. You can only be mad at them at the point of you telling them what you need and them not telling you that they can't give it to you or won't give it to you because you now have a false sense of support, believing that somebody can hold you down when they can't. So you need the honesty from them just as much as you need the honesty from them just as much as you need to be honest with them. Hey, you're not in a position to support me. I'm cool with that. But don't act like you are, and then I go to lean on you and we fall over.
That ain't something you should say physically, though, is it?
No, you shouldn't. You should have a manager or somebody on the side to say that. Like, you can't say that directly without hurting somebody's feelings. But that's,
that ain't something you say.
This is why there's a team.
Physically.
Like, this is why I manage a writer. He's dope as hell. He can't say how dope he is without sounding arrogant or coming off. I got to say that for him so that he never has to. So when I say it, it goes a lot longer way because he has someone else who has vouched for him and advocated for him. I can say how dope you are. I could plug you. I'd be like, yo, this the kid, man. He's this kid. And I've done it too for your show. I'll be like, yeah, man, I had an amazing time last night. I'm on this show with this comedian. He's funny as hell. He's been on MTV Wild 'N Out or whatnot, but he has a platform that is crazy. And I said it, I DM'd you. I was like, yo, if we have a conversation, I might be able to give you some things that I think could really, really take what you want to do with that and go out of here. But we just gotta have that conversation. I think there's an opportunity for you and a space that you've carved out for yourself, and now you have to design it so it's uniquely yours, and then it has a quality to it that will attract more bees to the honey. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that. And I didn't even know you DM me.
Yeah. Savannah said, at what point do we get a manager? You get a manager at a point where you have something when you have a product, whether it be you or whatever it is that you need managed, you got to get to a point where you're having discussions that you shouldn't be having for yourself. You have to put a line between you and other people so that someone can protect you and say the things that need to be said without it costing you on the back end.
That's very tricky though, right? Because your manager should not have a say so with what your friends are, your friends' life. We would like for them to, because we don't vocally tell our friends like, oh, say, I'm not doing that for you. But if that's coming from somebody who they're not friends with, that can be very tricky.
Wait, say what you said again. I missed how you began that.
I said that can be very tricky because I've lost friends based off of what my manager and the people who was in charge of me work-wise had said to people who I brought with me.
So I don't understand that because first off, your manager represents what you want and need. And that should be a conversation that you and your manager should have. For instance, there'll be a conversation with, like, for instance, if it's Usher and we're going somewhere doing something, the manager will say right off rip, listen, this is what we're doing. We don't really, these people are going to be invited into the VIP, but we're not letting these people do da da da. Huh?
Now I was talking to you.
Yeah, they're going to. The management represents the ideas that you want to represent. The management should always be able to come back and say, well, I told you what I felt about it, but this is what you wanted done, and so we did it that way.
Right.
And so the outcome is a reflection of how you wanted business to be done. And what you'll find is if you got a great manager, they're going to give you a peripheral point of view of the situation just so you're informed. The job of a manager is to advise and counsel. It's not to direct. It's not to move on without you being on behalf until y'all get to a point where you're like, yo, I know my manager really wants the best for me. And he's going to act in that capacity.
That's right. So I guess the people that walked away from that situation, it's like, yeah, that's their fault because they couldn't handle the fact that somebody who was in a work environment told them like, hey, let him be in a work environment and then we go take care of that on the back end.
Like a lot of your friends won't get it. Like listen, I don't, and this is one of the things that I delight in is that your friends don't have to get it. You know what I'm saying? Your friends don't have to get it when it comes to your work. It's your job. Shit. Motherfuckers work at McDonald's. Do you ever be like, yo, how you make them fries? No, you ain't got to get it. You just need to enjoy the fries. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just need to enjoy the fact that you get to be here. You get to be behind the curtain. You get the behind the scenes conversation. Other than that, you don't, any other access that you think you have or at a point where you don't understand what's going on, it's above your pay level. It's above your access. You're not supposed to know. If I wanted you to know, I'll tell you after the fact. I can't tell you in the heat of the moment. I can't tell you once we hear, my dude, I thought you knew better. But because you don't, now you got a problem? No, we can't operate like that.
Right. I respect that. That's true.
Yeah, it's how it's set up too. Like I said, I know how to communicate on his behalf in a way that he respects the fact that the way that I'm going to do it. He knows I'm a problem solver. I understand that there's no deal that can't be made. It just has to be directed. So when people come to me with these crazy numbers, there hasn't been a contract that I've looked at that can't be fixed. Every contract can win. Period. You just got to define what winning looks like. Meaning, if a person came to me
with the right representation, yes.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, and the fact that, like you said, the fact that I've had so many experiences because of what my life track has been in the music business from every perspective. Like my dude, I've done it all. You know what I'm saying? I've been in conversations I shouldn't have been privy to, but I've been in those conversations. I've been a fly on the wall with some of the craziest, dopest, like, oh my God, y'all blowing my mind conversations. So when I deal with people, when I have these conversations, I appreciate that, People's Champ. When I have the conversation with people, it's from a bigger perspective because most people ain't been where I've been, seen what I seen, heard what I heard. So I can talk through the conversation in a way where people are like, I get it now. I get it. Oh, I understand better now. And that's it. All I can do is educate people. All I can do is educate you on a situation and then help you understand why we're doing things a certain way. You ain't got to like it. I'm just telling you we have a foundation for why we do it.
Now, I tell my people that. I tell my people I don't have to like what you do. I have to support what you do.
Yeah.
I tell my people that, hey, allow me to knock this out first. That way it'll be easier for me to look out for you on the back end. I tell my people that I can't do so much for you because if you bypass me, you're not going to exactly know how to reach back and help me get to where you are.
That's a whole different thing, right? Like I don't know if I don't. There's amongst friends, there's no such thing as surpassing you. Amongst friends, we all win if one of us wins. The failure in that winning is the latter point that you made. That if I help you get on, if I divert what I got going on, and you don't do what Ludacris did, like put Poon Daddy on as a A&R and put Shaka on, where Shaka now is head of Spotify. You know what I'm saying? If you're not doing if you don't have the wherewithal to advance me the way that I had been advancing you prior to your success, I've selected the wrong horse to fuck with. My similar situation that I just did, I got a girl a record deal on Empire Records. I got her a whole deal. Before I came into her life, she only had 2 songs out and nobody was checking for her. I redirected her sound and everything, did 12 records, my dude. I only got 2 on her album. At one point in the conversation, she said to me, when she was on the Hype Juice, she said, "You're lucky to get those." My nigga, nobody was working with her. Nobody knew who she was to that effect until I cultivated these records and I started putting her out. You know, I don't flex often. I don't never put my credentials out there. If you ever notice, I never talk about my music industry shit. Although I'm very accomplished, I never talk about any of that shit on these platforms because that's not the space that I'm communicating. You know, I don't get on social media and talk about my business. You know what I'm saying? I am who I am.
Why is that if your social media platform is technically a job?
Well, it's not particularly. You know, when I produce music, don't nobody on this platform make a difference in it. Like nobody nobody in this live or on these lives makes a difference in the success or failure of my music career because my music career is cemented in successes.
I mean, that's because we haven't told ourselves we are in charge of the amount of success that we bring, give out, and want to that whole. So I agree with you.
Yeah, so I don't have the conversation on here. It comes off braggadocious. It's like I'm flexing. You know what I'm saying? I've never been that. I've been a if you know, then you know. Or if you want to know, you're gonna search it out. My name is what my name is. You look it up, it comes up. You know what I'm saying? And then you start being like, oh shit. And some people say, well, why is he doing this? Or why is he doing it? I just like to move differently. I want you to respect my conversation because it's a great conversation, not because it's coming from somebody who has have these accolades or whatnot. If I'm talking to you and I'm just me, then the power of my words and the conversation and my perspective should be enough. And it has been. And I'm very appreciative of that. Like, I've been accepted. There's not a platform that I haven't been on that I haven't been accepted for my conversation. Now, Clubhouse was one of the biggest ones that started it off. And that conversation in the beginning was rooted in my musical ties, because those rooms were set up to educate people in that fashion. And and they needed to hear my credentials. You know what I mean? They need to understand why my perspective had value. It's like, because Whitney listened to me, because Usher listened, Akon, all these different people have listened to me and have used my work and have paid me for it. And so once that became a thing, I was bugging, because the whole reason why this book, I don't know if I ever talked to you about my book. It's called Social Digital Currency.
It's called what?
Social Digital Currency.
You gotta check that out.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you can buy it. Go to your socialdigitalcurrency.com and you can buy the hard copy. And I'll sign it for you, man, because I'll sign the hard copy, because there's so much I would write in there about your influence and you know what I'm saying, and us meeting or whatnot. But this book came because I was on those lives, and then Clubhouse only had Twitter and Instagram features in the beginning. That's the only way you could send somebody a message. You couldn't send one on the platform. So when I was on the platform, I'd have 100 DMs after talking on those stages. People asking me for everything, management, you know, tips on this and all kind of shit. But my follower count didn't grow. Nothing about my Instagram reflected what was going on behind the scenes. So what I did, so thinking about that, I'm like, yo, why are all these people asking me for stuff, but they're not following me? They're not liking none of my shit. They're not commenting on nothing. And all I could think of is, you can do that to no end. Like, you have an unlimited supply of likes, follows, comments, and all that kind of stuff. Why aren't people doing that for me? So I got back on Clubhouse and I said, yo, I had my conversation there, and then the moderators was like, yo, make sure y'all DM us. And I said, don't DM me. I said, don't DM me unless you spend some social digital currency. And nobody said nothing. We went, and then about 4 people later, somebody asked the question, say, hey, Scrap, can I ask you what is social digital currency, man? You mentioned that earlier. What is social something you said? I said social digital currency. It's the actionable items that you use on social media to create a social media engagement with your people and persons of interest. Your likes, your comments, your shares, and your follows are valuable. You guys are creating influencers and putting them in position to earn actual currency through your spending of your social digital currency, which is free.
That's crazy.
Listen, it's free to like. All these likes that we got right now, 14,000 likes or whatever, that's free. Cost people nothing. The shares, it's free. It's free, and people don't know that it has value. If you want to add value to a situation and you don't have actual currency to submit to it, then spend an absorbent amount of social digital currency, and that's going to help. You don't have to. I don't want people too many times people lean on the fact that they say they don't have this or have that. You ever watch those YouTubes where the dude goes to Beverly Hills, dresses up kind of like a bum, but he's in Beverly Hills and he's asking for like $1 with people who are spending thousands of dollars on Rodeo Drive and in the Gucci store and all this, and people don't, and he give people $1,000 whoever helps him out. But I'm like, nobody helps this dude out. And I'm like, yo, what's $1 to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you finna spend 1,000, like, if you have the ability to make a difference, like right now, we need 2 gifts to do the doubles. Not saying the doubles gonna matter, but you would say, y'all do more for less. People do more for less. And that was the problem I had. I was like, yo, y'all do all this other stuff, but for this valuable content and conversation I'm giving you that's going to change your life, you won't advance. You won't take a ownership in that. You won't represent that a little bit. It's okay. It's cool. And then it goes back to our initial conversation about selfless and, being selfless. You have to manage what your bandwidth is when it comes to allowing yourself to give. It's just your bandwidth at that point.
That's true. You gotta be able to work on that.
Yeah. What up, Andrew? But I enjoy having this conversation with you, man, because I think it's important that we have it, because we're from 2 different generational conversations. You're in the thick of
Well, I
it.
agree, champion. I appreciate you. For starters, I don't do a lot of listening when I'm on this app. You're one of the few people that actually I had to like listen
That's what's
to
up.
you, which I respect.
I
And I
appreciate
also
it.
learned that you was some dope ass people when you wake up in the morning because the afternoon and the nighttime hit. People like Dwight don't exist.
Yeah, I had to
So
change it up. I actually was intentional last night. I got off a Call of Duty at like midnight,
yeah,
so I could wake up to be on the live. Cause so I got messages from people saying, "Yo, where you been? We miss you. You know what I'm saying? We need you in the morning. We love your conversation in the morning." And it was really a heartfelt text that somebody sent me, and I was like, "Scrap, you tripping? Like you tripping? Like you are literally tripping because your conversation matters." Andrew
what's
said he
up,
be taking
Dexter?
notes from both of us. That's funny.
Well, I appreciate that, champ. I feel like I learned a lot. I ain't gonna hold you. I learned a lot.
Well, I'm here, bro. You know, I always said, like, even from day one, I like before you ever put me on your show, I DM'd you and said, I'm here. I'll be a resource. Like, I want to help. I want to be a part of it. And I think that's again, it goes back to what my book is talking about. Social digital currency is that you have to invest in others. Like, it should be protocol before any of you guys. Social digital currency. I'll hold it up one more time.
What's the website?
Same. Yoursocialdigitalcurrency.com. And you'll see it pop up, and then you can order the book there, and then I'll ship it out like next day. But it's important that y'all understand. Listen, nobody should be asking for something without prepared or without giving first. It's easier to get what you want once you give somebody something that they need. It just is. I don't know why people even think anything differently than that. The for anything that you want. And I've had people do it, and it feels really great for people to value you on the front end versus always trying to get you on the back end. And that's a for anybody who doesn't understand, that's a music business or entertainment finesse conversation. If you ask me, people be like, "Nah, man, I'll get you on the back end." Well, you're gonna get me on the back end while you absorb and appreciate everything on the front end. How does that work out? And there's no guarantee that the back end is gonna flourish as much as the front end. Come on, man.
You can't tell people what it is they're missing out on before they choose to be a part of it, though.
Explain. What do you mean?
I can't be like, "Hey, yo, say it's $1 million at the end of this tunnel. All you gotta do is go down there with me."
Oh, but
That's not meant.
you heard that conversation. I'm sure you've heard that conversation a lot. Letitia sent it. Sassy said, "Whoever sent you that text, tell them I said thank you because I wanted to send you a message but didn't. So glad you are back on mornings." Yeah, I'm making it intentional that I go to bed early. So,
Well, good game, champion. I'm about to go on your Instagram and get this book because for starters, that link is long as shit and it's not coming up.
No. Don't go on Instagram. Instagram be tripping, man. I'm finna type it in the chat. Instagram is not. Is fully.
I won't be able to see it.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm gonna DM you on Instagram. You just send me the link. I won't be able to see it.
Okay. Is it not coming up for you right now though? Your like YOUR social SOCIAL digital. I know you're not a spell, my nigga, but I'm just saying. Your social digital currency.
I got it wrong.
Okay, DIGITAL DIGITALCURRENCY. It should come right up. For anybody who also wants to support and purchase the book, it's very beneficial. It helps you understand the value that you have on 5 different platforms: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Clubhouse. It shows you how to what your currency is, how to use it, that kind of thing. And somebody, I forget the guy's name who hit me. Somebody hit me up earlier, and I should have stopped and conversed real quick, but I think it was maybe it was Brown or somebody said they want to have a conversation. I do consultations, which you can also book through the website, Your Social Digital Currency.
Digital. I thought this man said distance.
No, social digital. You see it? Did it come up? YourSocialDigitalCurrency.com.
Got it on Amazon right here.
Nah, I can't sign that one. That's the digital copy.
I want the hard one.
Yeah. So you got to go below that one. Don't go to if you go on my website, go to the second option.
Got you right here below that one. Yeah. Right.
Your social. Why am I typing it in? I got a shortcut for that. There you go. What, you got a small laptop, nigga? What the fuck is that?
No, it's just everything looks either big or small to me because I'm tiny.
Yeah, Bo, that's who it was. Bo Pierre. I see you. So Bo, you see that website I just typed right there? There's an option matter of fact, just contact me on Instagram and we'll set something up. I'll put you on my calendar. And we can have a 30 or hour long conversation about whatever your situation is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, my guy, I appreciate the knowledge this morning. Your dope soul. Knowledge is something that you can seek.
Yeah, man. It's a mutual respect though. You know that already. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy you know, coming on the platform. I know I haven't been on there in a minute, you know what I'm saying? But
Oh, no, no pressure. We vibing. Plus, I know you got your own thug dizzle that you do, so you're awesome for that.
yeah, so you know, I appreciate the love that you showed from day one. Like for any of you that don't know, there when I first got on Cortez's live, I was in the audience and I was blazing some of the people that was on the panel, and between him and Andrew was recognizing some of my conversation. So came back the next day, you know what I'm saying, and he invited me on stage, and we've been cool and funny and having a good time ever since then. So I appreciate that, bro.
In that order. Well, I love you, champion. We gonna keep it trucking.
For sure.
You stay dope.
Yeah, this is to be continued, y'all. This ain't goodbye, but this is to be continued.
Yes, sir.
Till later, fam.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, y'all follow him too, man. Make sure if you're not following, follow him now. Yeah. You turned me on to Moet. Next day I was sit here. I miss our shows. And so, you know, Letitia, so I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm thanks to your conversation, you know what I'm saying? I'm back and I'm here and I'll be, you know what I'm saying, doing my thing more. Brown B, yeah, if you're following me on Instagram, you can DM me on Instagram and we can take it from there. We can set up a Zoom call and have a discourse or discuss whatever it is you want to discuss. I've been on for 2 hours, ladies and gentlemen. It is officially 2 hours. And if you don't believe me, I'm looking at the counter on my, for YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and all those other ones. We've been on for 2 hours strong. It is time for me to rest my voice, grab, oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I didn't drink my apple cider vinegar for y'all. Let me take this to the head right quick. Cause I was just about to say I need to go eat, but no, first thing I do, I haven't eaten anything or done anything. I'm gonna drink my apple cider vinegar now. It'll digest. I promise you within the next 30, 40 minutes, it's gonna digest. And then I'll go to the gym or I'll go running, depending on what it looks like outside. I know the weather is 66 degrees here in Atlanta, partly cloudy, which is good weather for running. You know what I'm saying? You can DM me here, I guess, Bo, but it's easier to do it on Instagram. Make sure you're following me. If you're not following me, go ahead and follow me now, you guys. Turn on notifications to always. Link on my other socials, whether it be YouTube or Instagram. Make sure you are connected on both of those. Sometimes I'll get on one or the other platforms. I haven't been on live on IG in quite a while, but this is the trifecta of how we're going to communicate in the future. Yeah, right. Letitia said, yes, I've been drinking it for so long. It moves very quickly on me now. It's within an hour, like literally within an hour, you're going to the bathroom and doing a number 2, and then you can go about your day. And then throughout your day, you're very regular. Like throughout the day, you can kind of gauge what your body is doing a whole lot better. So, absolutely, I'm excited to hear that. What up, Capone? If you're just getting here, Dime, Capone, you guys are, I'm about, you got to turn on notifications so you can get here early. I've been on for 2 hours strong with a great audience between my different platforms. We've had an amazing conversation. I do not allow my Instagram lives to stay recorded on Instagram Live because they do not support the creators the way that they should. So if you're going to support or want to watch the live, I suggest you go over to my YouTube channel. Oh, that's what's up. Big Flights. That's what's up. I see. He said, yo, I just got off the PJ, homie. I couldn't, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't chop it up. You know what I'm saying? We was G4 and all the way through the skies. You know what I'm saying? Now that we landed here in the Mediterranean, you know what I'm saying? I had an opportunity to get on, you know what I'm saying? I know what it is, Capone. I see it. I see you. So, what I was saying was you should be following on those different platforms. On the replays for most of these shows are always, yep, it's the same as on here. Yep, Bo. And that's another social digital currency thing that you want to do is you want to have all of your you want all of your profiles to be the same on across. So if you go to Dwight Scrap Rentals everywhere, you'll have me. Let me it's time to go because my house cleaners are here. Let me go let them in so they can do their thing. I appreciate everybody for showing up today. I will be back tomorrow, same time, same place, different subject. But man, today was amazing. If you missed it, you're going to want to go check it out on my YouTube channel, which my YouTube channel is ICGREEN1, or you can search it up by Dwight Scrap Reynolds. This isn't goodbye. This is to be continued. I'll see you soon. Hey, DJ Dub, I'm checking out, man. Y'all got here a little bit. I've been on for 2 hours. I'm about to go. Catch me later or watch this later too as well. All right, y'all.